Guys, I'm hanging out with Wallace and Steven. Am I one of the cool kids yet? Hello everyone, I am Third Mario Brother, and welcome back to Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we summoned the mighty Rayquaza, who came here to Sutopolis City to stop the battling between Groudon and Kyogre. In this episode, we are taking on, as you guys can see, the 8th and final gym of the Hoenn region, which is the Water-type gym, as evidenced by the fact that there are waterfalls on each side, even though there's quite a bit of ice here, a little bit more ice than there is water, although I guess ice is just frozen by water. But, you know, science lessons aside, there's a little gimmick to this gym which allows you to skip every single one of the gym trainers to fight its leader, Juan. But we're not going to be doing that because, stylistically, I just like to show off at least a couple of the gym leaders, maybe like 2 or 3 battles or something like that, and we will be good. When I'm with my Pokemon, the time flies by before you can say, oops! Why oops in particular? I don't understand, but alright, whatever you say, lady, whatever you say. Oh my god, the adorable little Whalmer dolls. We got some more of those, but unfortunately, Pokefan Bethany is not going to have such an adorable time with our Shock. Now, being that this is a water-type gym, you can probably assume that Shock is going to be the key player here. There are a couple, like, half ice types that we're going to have to deal with, the evolutions of Spheal, actually. And on the topic of ice types, I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, so Heretic might be a little bit useful in this. Shock, however, is going to be the main player, because pretty much everything here is going to suffer at the hands of our all-powerful Thunderbolt. But, on the topic of ice types, there are only, like, 3 Ice-type Pokemon in Hoenn. Well, 3 Ice-type families, I guess. First of all, you've got Snorunt and Glalie. Okay, whatever. Those are pure Ice-types. Awesome. Have a lot of weaknesses, but cool. We've got some Ice-types. You've got Spheal and its evolutions, and then you've got Regice. And that's it. That's it! Well, the Hoenn region is south of the other region, so it's supposed to be in, like, a tropical area or something, which kind of explains some of the, more out-there designs at this point in the series, but, like, it's a tropical region, but there's only 3 Ice-type Pokemon. Man, come on! This generation had such potential to, give so needed attention to the Ice-type, but unfortunately, that just did not happen. Either way, we defeated Bethany. Oops! I get it, because that's what you said at the beginning of the battle. Oh, Bethany, you clown, you. So, let's go ahead and send out Heretic, who should be able to take on any half Ice types if we need to at this point, but I don't think that we will. The sight of Juan conducting a battle, the very beauty of it compelled me to become a trainer.
I can battle with really rare Pokemon if you'd like.
Well, I don't understand why you wouldn't battle with rare Pokemon and normal Pokemon, you know, but either way, you are dressed incredibly well, Lady Daphne, and we've got another Pokefan with a tiny little handbag and a bunch of Whalmer dolls and some really crappy Pokemon. So here we have 2 of the worst water-type Pokemon. Well, Feebas isn't bad, like, entirely, because Feebas will evolve eventually into a monster of a Pokemon, which is Milotic. Feebas is one of the hardest Pokemon to find, however. I believe I mentioned it earlier in the series, but it can only be found on a route outside of Fortree on, like, 6 tiles or something like that, so it's ridiculously difficult to come across. Luvdisc, however, you can fish for him outside of, Pacific Log Town, and this thing has crappy stats across the board. It's got no useful moves. It's a little bit cute sometimes, but then you look at it and you're like, wow, this thing just looks like straight butt. So, and it really does, but either way, there goes that Luvdisc, and oh boy, here comes another one. What a surprise. Let's go ahead and Thunderbolt and Brick Break. Same strategy, and Luvdisc should never give you any problems. If Luvdisc is giving you problems at this point in the game, you should probably consider revising your team, because either you're running an all-fire-type team with no physical attacks or something, or you're just kind of terrible at Pokemon, because Luvdisc is pretty much unusable in both single-player and competitive battling. Well, single-player, I'm sure it has some uses. I don't know. Everything's usable in single-player, but competitive, not whatsoever. You battle me with more beauty than I could muster. Are there eggs in that basket, man? Oh, there now. Did you have a good look at my Pokemon? Oh, are you the one? Are you the one who was talking about rare Pokemon who has those so coveted Feebas? Because, you know, I really genuinely do envy you, and perhaps by the end of this Let's Play I'll have to force myself to catch Feebas or something, because that's the one thing in this game that I haven't done. I'll show you the sublime techniques I learned from our leader, Juan. And now we're fighting a little lass who was trained at this gym. Oh, wow. It actually is a lass. That was entirely just a guess, and wait. You mentioned sublime techniques, but the only Pokemon you're running in your party is a Luvdisc. Sublime techniques. Luvdisc. Little bit oxymoronic, my friend. Either way, let's just Thunderbolt this thing and get the heck out of here. We've taken not a point of damage from all the ladies in this gym, and you'll notice every single trainer in this gym, aside from Juan himself, is indeed a lady. Please forgive me, Juan. Not lady the trainer class, I mean lady as in, you know, the gender classification. They're all girls, man. That's what I'm saying. I should teach you how harsh battles can be. I swear, if you have nothing but a love disc too, I'm going to be extremely disappointed in you, Miss Beauty Connie. Okay, a Goldeen. Goldeen, that's slightly more respectable than a love disc. Still not fully evolved, even though it's level 40 for some reason. What is up with NPC trainers and not fully evolving their Pokemon? The worst is when you come across some bug catcher with like 6 level 30 Wurmples or Caterpies or something like that. And it's like, man, the potential on this team, well, okay, the team never had any potential at all, but it could be so much stronger than the squishy worm team that it is. I'll tell you something good. If you want to reach Juan, you need to walk on each floor tile once. Man, I already knew that. I already reached Juan, but he was too boring for me. So, I'm not even going to bother healing up outside because we haven't taken any damage, but we are a little bit low on PP, so this might come and bite me in the butt later. Either way, this puzzle took me ages and ages and ages to figure out when I was younger, but when I did, it stuck with me forever. Even coming back and playing through this game recently, which inspired me to do this Let's Play, I remembered this exactly and didn't have... It's like muscle memory at this point because this frustrated me so much when I was younger, even though, you know, if you plan ahead about 2.3 seconds... you're going to be completely alright, but we have Shock out front, and I think we're ready to take this guy on. He can be a bit of a hassle, so be prepared. Let me ask you, did you know? I should not be so coy. It was I who taught Wallace everything there is to know about Pokemon. Once, I had given up my position as the gym leader. In my place, I had entrusted Wallace with the gym. However, a compelling reason arose for me to make a comeback. But enough chatter. Let us begin our match, shall we? Please, you shall bear witness to our artistry. A grand illusion of water sculpted by Pokemon and myself, and here we go against the 8th and final gym leader of the Hoenn region, which is Leader Juan, who is dressed very, very, perhaps pretentiously, perhaps pedantically, but very classy at the very least, and he's going to lead off with the Love Disc. Wow! All the praise sung to you by your legions of fangirls probably is going to fall upon deaf ears, because if you're starting out with a Love Disc, what kind of a gym leader are you, man? It's worth mentioning, though, that in Ruby and Sapphire, you're not going to be fighting... I should take the experience share off of Heretic. It's getting a little bit too strong there. Either way, it is indeed very, very, very worth mentioning that... ooh, I didn't actually plan for this. I guess we'll go out with Heretic. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that in Ruby and Sapphire, you're going to be fighting Wallace here instead of Juan, and Wallace is such a cooler 8th gym leader than Juan is, man. I loved Wallace's position here in the 8th gym in Ruby and Sapphire. Maybe I'm just partial to it for whatever reason, just arbitrarily, but I loved him here instead of Juan. I don't really like Juan too much as a character. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but... I really, really liked it when Wallace was here. Wallace is, however, in this game, and he plays a bit of a different role in this one. First of all, he took us to the Sky Pillar and helped save Sootopolis City in that way, and he plays a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a role later on in the game, which you guys will see if you don't know what I'm talking about already. So he's probably going to heal up on this turn, so I'm going to bulk up. Yep, there we go. Leader Juan used a Hyper Potion because he fears the power of Heretic. Well, now he's got something more to fear. This isn't going to up our defense, our special defense or anything, which is probably what this thing's going to be hitting us most with, but our attack is up, and so we should be able to take this thing out in a good 2 brick breaks very easily. Maybe we can even entice him to heal up on this turn as well, so he doesn't use his items on his more annoying Pokemon later on. Wouldn't that be nice? Either way, every single one of his Pokemon is going to have the move Water Pulse, and it's a fairly strong water move that also has a chance to confuse you. In Ruby and Sapphire, that move infuriated me because Wallace's strongest Pokemon in those games was one that is a little bit difficult to deal with. It was a Milotic. It was a huge, huge, huge tank of a Pokemon that was super annoying to deal with. Either way, he's going to lead off with, well, not lead off. What am I talking about? Lead off. Lead off? Yeah, 2 Pokemon down, man, but he's going to send out his strongest Pokemon already. This is Kingdra, and this thing is such a pain. Oh my god. Okay, you're going to see, well, it's going to use Water Pulse against us first, and I'm fine with that. Baconator, our special tank, can take that for days. But this thing has double team on it, and once it starts using that, oh, this battle is going to get annoying, because not only does it have double team, it's got Rest and a Chesto Berry. So guess what's going to happen? When this Toxic takes this thing down to a reasonably low amount of health, it's just going to rest it off, get a free full restore out of it, and probably have up like 3 or 4 double teams by that time. So we are in for just a fun time. Let's go ahead and confuse ray this thing. Please, please, please hit Baconator. I don't want to have to deal with missing over and over and over. Ah, there we go. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons also that I like Wallace over Juan, because Wallace doesn't use noob techniques like Juan does. Ah, this battle can be so annoying sometimes, but I'm going to go ahead and Toxic him right off the bat. I know that that's eventually going to get healed off by his rest if he decides to use it and we don't get a really, really lucky critical hit or something like that. But I just want to take him down and get rid of his Chesto Berry as quickly as is humanly possible. And later on, I'll probably want to save the Baconator for later, so maybe I'll just heal up on this turn or something. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, he's probably not going to go for a double team this turn. If he goes for a Water Pulse, then this was the right move. Or he could hit himself, and that'd be the best of all. Yeah, he went for a Water Pulse. I was thinking about going for a Psychic and hoping he would go for a double team, because then we might have actually been able to kill this thing before it uses rest, but it looks like that is probably what it's going to do on this turn. So, I'm going to try to out-predict the computer right now and go for a Toxic. Oh, it snapped out of confusion, and it used rest. Yeah, another reason that I wanted to confuse that thing right there is maybe when it used rest, it would have hit itself in the face with confusion instead and not been able to do that for one turn and taken itself out, because the computer will prioritize rest over potions and stuff like that a lot of the time. Either way, now this thing has a Toxic on it, and so long as it doesn't stupidly decide to use rest again and put itself to sleep for a couple turns, we should be able to take it out. Let's go ahead and confuse it one more time so it doesn't get the chance to use double team and rest quite as much, and then we can start throwing Psychics at it and see what the Baconator can do. And man, both of your Confuse Rays have hit, Baconator. I am proud of you. You are proving your worth every single day on this team, man. You are frying stuff like the bacon that you are. Okay, so you're confused. Are you going to hit yourself? Yes, you are, Kingdra. Awesome. Now, every once in a while, it doesn't happen especially often, but every once in a while, Kingdra will rest when it's at like half health or something like that, and it's the stupidest thing ever. Okay, he used Water Pulse. I thought it was going to rest as soon as I said that, but it's the dumbest thing ever, and it's super annoying, and oh boy. Now we're confused. Baconator, come on, man. You're a Psychic-type Pokemon. You're smart. You can get through this. Yeah, there we go with the Psychic, and it hit. Not only did you break through the confusion, but you hit with the Psychic. So, I'm expecting a Hyper Potion on this turn, so maybe I could do the same thing to my Baconator, heal up just a little bit, and we should be good. Now, there's an alternative strategy in case you run out of a stalling Pokemon. And, oh, dang it, he used rest. Dang it, he used rest. Gosh dang it, he used rest. Right after I said that Pokemon tend to, or trainers tend to prioritize rest over potions, I go ahead and don't predict the rest. Alright, so we're going to have to change up our strategy a little bit here. This Kingdra can do serious damage with that Water Pulse, but we are going to have to do a little bit of damage ourselves if we want to win this battle. So let's go ahead and go out with Swellowship, I suppose, while this thing is still asleep so we can get a free switch in. I feel like I was saying something before, but now I don't remember whatsoever. Oh yeah, I was probably talking about exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. Because this thing uses double team so much, because it is that newbie and annoying and all those wonderful, wonderful adjectives that you could describe Juan's oh-so-likable Kingdra, it might be wise to come out with something that knows, like, Shockwave. Oh, it knows Ice Beam. Well, that strategy went down the drain. I was going to say something that knows Shockwave or something that knows Aerial Ace or something that is never going to miss, because those double teams are quite annoying to deal with. Well, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we go out there with Shock. Maybe... Oh, is this thing male? I hope this thing is male. Yes, it is male! Alright, you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to throw up the Thunder Wave first and foremost. We're going to put up the Attract, and this thing is not going to be able to use Rest ever again in its puny little life. Now, it's going to use Ice Beam. I don't know why, because that's not a stab move, and it doesn't have a chance to confuse. And if we get frozen here after I... Okay, good. Now, Shock, attract that thing. Use your beautiful, beautiful lack of curves, but... your bounty of points to attract this thing, and please tell me this Kingdra is not going to attack this turn, because that would be a problem. No, it used the Water Pulse. Alright, whatever you say, Kingdra, whatever you say, bro. Okay, you're asking for it. You are asking for it. We are going to send out... Oh, we still have the Mystic Water on Dishwater, don't we? Dang it! I should have switched it out for the Soft Sand, but unfortunately, that is just the way that the cookie crumbles. But we can still send out Dishwater, and we can still do damage to this thing. Of course, its Water Pulse and Ice Beam are both going to do neutral damage to us, but we have the Earthquake, the powerful Earthquake, which is going to do all kinds of damage to this thing if I know my Dishwater whatsoever. So, how much can we do? That wasn't that good. I expected a little bit better than that, but you know what, Dishwater? You tried. I respect it. If we had the soft sand, man. If only we had the soft sand. Oh, God. I so wish we had the soft sand right now. So I guess our strategy here is just going to be swap back into the Baconator and try to get a Toxic off on this thing, because that seems to be the only way that we're going to be able to take this thing out. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait until it wakes up. So, for now, I guess all we can do is, like, confuse it. We can't really put a Reflect up because all these water moves are not really gonna care about a Reflect at all. So let's oh, did I use Toxic? I meant to use Confuse Ray on that turn, man. Well, yep, Kingdra woke up. I made the alright prediction. It's going to use Water Pulse on us. Please don't get confused, Baconator. Come on, man. We need you. There we go. And we hit with the Toxic. Awesome. So, alright, sorry about that brief cut there. I was thinking that we should take a Water Pulse or two more with the Baconator and then switch out to something that can deal some quick damage so that we can get rid of this thing before it has the chance to rest yet again. And okay, it's going to double team on this turn. That is really, really annoying. How many does it have up at this point? 3, 4? Things are only going to get worse from here on out unless we get incredibly lucky with like a huge critical hit or something, but this thing is a force to be reckoned with. Level 46, it's going to be dealing some damage. So let's try to get up that Confuse Ray. If we can get this and we can prevent it from using Rest on the next turn, then we won't even have to worry. Ah, we missed the Confuse Ray. Ah, that double team, man. The double team. Well, would Toxic Poison be able to kill it if I get off a Psychic this turn? I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I'm going for it. Because the chances, yeah, there we go. He already used Rest. Okay. Man, am I going to have to cut a Gym Leader battle? This is stupid, man. Is this going to kill it? Is this going to take out the Kingdra that has plagued us for all this time? Yes, finally. Okay. My strategy there was, while it was sleeping, I hit it with the Confuse Ray with the Baconator, and then I brought out Shock, attracted it immediately while it was still asleep, and so when it woke up, it was hitting itself in confusion and wasn't being able to move. So I just stayed out with Shock and hit it up with a couple Thunderbolts, and that was how we ended up taking that thing out. God. Oh, man, that Kingdra. If you have a Pokemon with a Dragon-type move, things will be infinitely easier for you, but we are running out of PP on our Thunderbolt. If we need to, we can use an Elixir or something like that, because that Kingdra, man, by itself, that is cheating. So I will feel completely justified if we need to use one of those, but I feel like we're not going to, because the remaining Pokemon are Crawdaunt and Celio. So we've got nothing to worry about. Crawdaunt, which is a Water Dark type, has extremely high attack, but it's going to be hitting you with mostly water moves, and unfortunately, this was before the physical special split, so Crawdaunt has got nothing on our Heretic. You want to talk about some physical power? Talk to my boy Heretic. Crawdaunt does not measure up. Crawdaunt does not compare. Crawdaunt is not even in the same ballpark. He's not even in the same continent as our Heretic when it comes to physical strength, but there we go, defeated leader Juan. Excellent. Very well. You are the winner. From you, I sense the brilliant shine of skill that will overcome all. However, compared with me or even Wallace, you are lacking in elegance. Perhaps I should make you a loan of my outfit. I merely jest. Rather than my clothes, I shall reward you with this, the Rain Badge. And God, stop talking, man. You're too cocky. The white streak in your hair, the extremely classy dress, the gym full of girls. Man, Juan, come on. Wallace was so much cooler. Either way, we got ourselves the Rain Badge. Having the Rain Badge shall assure you the full obedience of all your Pokemon to your every command. Rain Badge also allows the use of the HM move Waterfall to scale walls of cascading water. Not to scare them, I know walls are quite frightened easily, but you never forget the battle we shared. Take this. And we get ourselves the TM03, which is this gym signature move, Water Pulse. The technical machine I handed you contains Water Pulse. In use, it will occasionally confuse the target with ultrasonic waves. And we registered Gym Leader Juan, regrettably, in our Pokénav. I mean, there's probably some people out there who are big fans of Juan who are getting super offended right now, but I really don't like him. How could he ever compare to Wallace? How could he ever compare to the OG 8th Gym Leader of the Hoenn region? Have we ever even talked to this guy? Have we talked to this guy once in the whole playthrough? Yow! You beaten even Juan, who was supposedly the best in all Hoenn. Okay, check out your trainer card. If you got all the badges, you're set for the Pokemon League Challenge. Thanks, random stranger who I have no idea who you are, but yeah, it's the advice guy. He gives you advice, except a lot of the times it's pretty useless, so I didn't bother talking to him at all. Either way, in this episode of Pokemon Emerald, we beat the 8th gym leader, Juan, of the Water-type gym here in Sootopolis City, and now we are ready to take on the Pokemon League. That means that we've only got one place unexplored in the Hoenn region, and that is the final city in the game, Evergrande City, or Evergrande City if you do prefer. And perhaps we will be heading out there in the next episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald, but for now, this will do it for this video, so thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys then.